If she was his, she would never have done that.
No.
And so she's obviously not his.
That sort of thing almost invariably, I would say always backfires on a person to do something like that.
Yeah, well, it's another one of their desperation attempts to come at me. It's just desperation.
And in a way, it's a badge of honor. When you get to the point when people are doing something like that, it means you're really somebody on the world scene.
That's what somebody else tried to say. When they try to mimic you and copy you, it's actually a compliment. And I'm just like, well, I'm too appalled to see anything past appalling. But, it just shows their desperation. They can't control me. They can't defeat me. They can't shut me up.
When you're worthy of attack of that magnitude, that took a lot of time and money and effort to put together. It is a compliment. It means you're really doing your job. You're doing a good job, and they've taken notice.
Well, yeah, like I said, I've got 30% of traffic on my shows that goes unaccounted for. They can't be pinned down where it's coming from. And so, yeah, I mean, it's all over the world. We've got 118 countries listening to this show.
It's just growing like crazy. I'm amazed at how many people have heard about your show that I had no idea about it months ago.
Yeah, well, you know what? Every month it seems like it just doubles.
The Rent show has done a lot of that. Exposure has done a great deal of good, too, in terms of people hearing your name, knowing that you're there, reading your books.
Yeah, well, you know what's amazing? Because if I was the first person in all these umpteen years to pack out their server, they've never had me back. If somebody packs out your server and jams it to the point where half the people that want to listen to the show can't even get in, wouldn't you have them back?
I wouldn't be surprised if he does, so sometime soon.
He's never asked me to come back, and so I just consider it a great opportunity to be on the radio program. I know Art Bell and George Snorri still won't have me on their programs, and people send me emails. They say, why don't you get on Art Bell? It's like, I've tried. They won't let me on their shows.
How about Zeph Daniel?
He's doing audios. Yeah, he's doing shortwave these days.
Yeah.
Zeph's, he's doing a lot of interviews lately. He just interviewed Patrick Heron.
Oh, I didn't hear that. I heard his Constance Cumby one.
Yeah, I haven't heard that one yet. Look, Constance, she's great.
Yeah.
You can always bring her on and have a great show. And, of course, when I had her on, we had a ball. We just kind of winged it. I'm not a great interviewer. And, I don't always ask the brilliant questions. But when I do interviews, what I enjoy is the fact that when the host just lets me ramble, when he just lets me talk. And lets me talk about anything I want to talk about. And it's very rare. Because most hosts like to lead you by the leash and ask you questions and then give you 10 seconds to answer, and then you go on 10 minutes commercials. And I don't like that, and so I don't do it to my hosts. When they come on my show, when I bring people on, I just tell them I'm not a great interviewer. Talk about whatever you want. We're just going to go with the way it goes.
Zeph's show is still kind of a mixed bag. He has some fine shows, and he has some that are, well, that's something else. But I think that the interviews that he's had with you are among his very best.
Yeah, a lot of people miss those.
They do.
We always have a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm quite interested about the material you've got on tonight. And I've noticed all over the Internet and even in real life, people are noticing more in these last 2 or 3 weeks. There was the thing about one of the major government agencies formally announcing they're moving to Denver,
Colorado. So they're already there.
Yeah, and
they don't do something to make it appear that they're unstable right now because they're in the middle of a move. That would appear instability. And they're already there, and we know where our attacks come from.
Yeah.
And so they're just now telling people that's where they are, and of course we've known they've been there.
People seen massive UFO daylight displays.
Oh yeah, Tuesday after my show. I don't know if you listened to my show, Aliens in the News.
I didn't hear that. I'm gonna get it on the replay.
Yeah, after that show until dark, which was probably about 5 hours or so, a Chinook showed up in town, circled this town all night long. My kids thought it was great. We don't have a military base 100 miles in any direction from here. Some of these military choppers show up. They're outside. They think it's great. And you know what? The Chinooks are just so loud and obnoxious.
Yeah.
Because they're those huge things with a propeller on each end. And they're just very loud. And so that was funny. It's like, oh, please. You know, that's the best you can do. Annoy me with a Chinook all night long. You know, at least it's better than sending a Huey loaded chopper to my son's football game and circling the field.
Oh.
You know, that was pretty bad when they try to intimidate you at a kid's football game.
Yeah.
You know, so the Chinook was different. I mean, they made a couple of runs directly over the house, but pretty much stayed circling the area. And so, you know, they're desperate. They're desperate. And the attack is on full assault on all of mankind because they have a time window here that's coming up, June and July, for this whole Nasera thing that I've been screaming about for 2 years and people are sick of hearing of, but at least they know what it is. And this is a time window opportunity for Maitreya to appear. And so they need to dumb down the masses as much as possible with all of their mind control technologies so that people will submit. And so that's what the massive all assault on the world is right now, especially America, is dumbing them down so that they'll submit and they'll listen to these leaders and they'll accept the changes that are coming. And so really the next 2 months is going to be a full-out push. And what the Lord has told me is they're in derision. And he says that to me all the time. They're in derision. They don't know what they're doing. They know it's their stage. It's their time to pull the curtain and play, and they can't get it going. They don't know who's in charge. There's so many factions and so many different things going on within those circles that nobody knows who's in charge.
There does seem to be a lot of confusion out there.
And it's total confusion. It's total confusion. Of course, it just cracks me up nothing to see Sananda mention my sites or something in his letters. You know, I know there's a full-blown war that's going to be hitting as soon as these guys show up. You know, and the Christians, you see this Maitreya hitting in Sananda, you need to head to your hideouts, you need to head to the mountains, you need to go.
Yeah.
Because there's no turning back from that point, and you're going to see us just plummet into that last half of the trib period starting shortly after that, and it's going to get fierce. Because when these freaks, every time they come to our earth or they're close, you will see destructions and plagues hit. It's almost like a cause-effect. And so anytime that mankind, our president, our politicians, our military, whatever, is in cahoots with these alien beings, the Lord judges our country for it. And I put up that what he showed me about that Crystal City fraud.
Yeah.
CrystalCityFraud.com. That one just blew me away.
I haven't seen that one.
CrystalCityFraud.com, site I put up 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
The Lord had revealed to me that these guys, Lucifer, had mimicked the New Jerusalem, almost mimicked, as close as he can get. And he was going to bring this thing, and I think this is what may be Nibiru. I'm not sure if it's Nibiru or not. But he is going to bring this thing and hover it above the earth when he arrives, to further fool the people that he's God, and that is New Jerusalem, and that now we're in eternity, or whatever. But it's all part of his charade that he's God. And the fact that he could actually pull that off just blew me away. And when I saw it in the Bible codes, I saw the terms egg-like and cubic. And when I saw the picture on the internet, it just blew me away that it was describing the terms I'd seen in the codes. And so I put the picture on the website at CrystalCityFraud.com. A lot of people have seen this. I don't know if you remember the NASA people last year talking about that they thought they located heaven in the center of the universe. I could see a bunch of rainbow lights. I think this was this Crystal City that Lucifer has built that they were finding. And what he's going to do is he's going to bring this to Earth, hover it above Earth, and right now that is his home in the heavenlies. That is the home of Sananda and Germain and Maitreya and all of them. That is their home. And it's Lucifer's home. And they're going to bring it closer to Earth and hover it above Earth. And people are going to think that this is the New Jerusalem.
Oh, so many